Hello everybody, it's me, it's Worco, and I am back, and I'm back with a new series. Now, this series is a vintage Let's Play, so all the kit that I have has to be from a certain time period, anywhere before the 1990s, so preferably older than that, of course, but I'm going to be going for older than that if I can. Now, I'm at Stonebridge Farm on Court Farms. I've not going with the main Court Farms. Why? People, a lot of people are using Court Farms anyway itself, and to be perfectly honest with you, this one gets overlooked a lot. So, and it's going to be perfect, really. It's only a small equipment, old equipment, and it's a small farm, so perfect. Now, I do have some equipment, because like I said, this is a Let's Play. It's not survival per se. I am starting with 10 grand in the bank, so it is a survival aspect, but it's not a survival series. I do have some kit, like I said. I've got a nice Fiat truck just waiting there. That's in lieu of a trailer. Now, I can get classic trailers, but I thought, do you know what? I'm going to get the truck because I prefer the truck. I do have a harvester just sitting here. As you can see, it's an old class Dominator 85. No cab. So that's good. And I do have a seeder, a cultivator, a plough, and I do have a new manure spreader. Now, there's a good reason for manure. Now, I do have, as well, this. This is my tractor. Now, she is a beauty, a Volvo BM. Now, she's old, classic, rustic. She's only got 48 horsepower. So, you can just tell the type of equipment we'll be using. Now, what do I own in terms of land? Not an awful lot. I currently own all the pastures. Now, the pastures are great, but they're not going to bring me any money for silage, and I'll explain that in a moment. But I don't own any fields. I don't own any fields at the moment. None. Not a one. So, I am thinking about pulling out the horses, because I don't think I'm going to do horses in this Let's Play. And then that could be a little field. But there's this little pasture over there. Now, that little bit of pasture is mine. Now, with this map, in certain areas, that pasture is one of them. There is, well, the grass doesn't regrow. You mow it, it won't regrow. That's guaranteed. So, and it's the same for the pastures in the back. I can mow that grass and try and make it into silage, but I won't be able to make silage because grass will just delete itself, leaving just a texture rather than grass. So it's field display grass. So, yeah. We've got to make money in a different way. Now, I can do contracts in this series, but I have to use my own equipment, the old classic equipment. I'm not allowed to lease anything, so there is some rules to the challenge. It is a like of a challenge, but it's not a challenge. It's a Let's Play, but there is rules. Now, I can't lease equipment, like I said. I can't borrow equipment. I can't get loans out. I have to make the money up straight off the bat. So what I'm going to do, first of all, I'm going to use this plough. And this plough only, well, the tractor can only just about pull this plough. It actually requires, I think it was 75 horsepower, and this is 48. But it can only just, I have tested it, of course, before I started. Right, now we're going to get something in the ground here. Probably sorghum or something that's going to be worth money. this plough, I can tell you, it's only 1.5 meters, so it's tiny. So if I'd have done this normally rather than a time lapse, like I said before, I'm not a big fan of doing too many time lapses. But with small equipment, I mean, I'd be here for I don't know. I'm doing this obviously real time, but you know, I'm not. I don't think you're going to want to sit there watching me for an hour and a half, whichever, ploughing up a field. Well, it didn't take that long. About 20 minutes, so not extreme. Now there is a few other things. There is another bit of kit that I have, but it's not here at the farm. It's up at the shop, and it is a forklift. But technically, although I technically own it, for the purposes of the series, it's owned by the store, so I can use it to whatever I want, providing it doesn't leave the courtyard. So that's the rub. It can't leave the courtyard. It has to stay there. So when I do eventually come to the point where I'm going to need a pallet forks or anything like that down here, I'm going to have to go buy something. Now, another thing here is I'm not going to be using any chemicals because, well, chemical fertilizing, it's been about for a fair while, okay? Even back in, I'm going to say, well, relative classic, I suppose, but however, I'm doing this the vintage way, the old classic way. So we're going to be doing manure or slowing only. I do have a manure buy point there, which I have placed down. So then I'll be buying my manure. Now I don't think these fields, I don't think the animals in the fields actually drop manure here. I don't think they produce it, so I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think there is I haven't seen the manure bunker, unless I'm blind, but probably know me. So now this series itself, I'm going to be putting at least one episode of this out a week, or at least that's the plan. And my plan is for my survival series, at least one, maybe 2 episodes of that a week. It will depend. I'm going to see how I go with that. I'm going to see, because there is other things that I am planning on bringing to the channel, other things that I'm planning on doing. So for example, I now started another new sort of series, compilation series for random acts of giggles, basically madness. So, and it's just the amount of times we play games, me, Mr. P, Rev Simulation, Sniper, Rampage, the amount of times we play other games, and the cameras are off, you'll be surprised exactly what madness ensues. So, and that's the whole point of it, really. So it's not just gonna be that, not just gonna be GTA based. This last episode, which came out, well, by the time that this is aired, 2 days ago, I reckon. I am gonna be recording these in bulk, but yeah, first up for that. There we go. Mind you, I suppose there is a little caveat area I could have drove through. Now this is the second lot. So, little spots. So I'll just quickly cover them. I'm not going to make it amazing. You know, I'm not pretending to. Lime, by the way, is off. And the reason I've done that is because it's relatively difficult to find a limer, which is classical. Or at least one that would hold a capacity for a decent capacity, to be perfectly honest with you. It's difficult. You have to really think outside the box when it comes to classical equipment, especially because we're all low horsepower. Like I said, there's 48 horsepower. I mean, there's not a lot of equipment out there that's classical. I wish I could see more. There is some, but you know, plus as well, the size of the equipment is a bit. If I try putting certain lime spreaders on the back here, ones that do have at least decent capacity. It would look alright, you know what's it. So, right, there's the cedar. Let's get it. So 20 horsepower needed for this one. So, there we go. It's an old classical one. Now, this, I believe, can be found on Mod Hub, if I remember rightly. So, it's a nice bit of kit. I like it. I do like it. Put down, I think I'm going to go sorghum, because I can either sell the sorghum or I can save it for chickens, because I am planning on getting chickens in. I am planning on doing the bees. I am planning on doing a few things, and I will be doing, I may do some production aspects, but not a lot of them, purely because it's going to be difficult to do certain productions, which you can equate to classic. Difficult. So it's more just playing around and enjoying old classic equipment, to be honest with you. Now, I don't need to turn this thing on, so it doesn't run by PTO. It's just drop and go. So all it is drop and go. So try to keep it as everything as close to the same colour as I can, apart from the Fiat truck, because I like that Fiat truck by Pepe. Brilliant, oh brilliant. It just doesn't look right in any colour other than green though. I don't know why. It just doesn't look any good. And I do prefer self-propelled over pulling. I don't know, it's just easier. 15,000 litres and that, so it's good. So I'm going to miss a few bits here and there. Okay, so last little bit done. Now all we need to do is get fertilizer, get another state of fertilizer. Now I mean I can wait, but no, I'd rather just get it on, to be honest with you. I mean, the way I've always played it is just make sure it's all fertilised beforehand. There is other things, even though I've turned lime off, there is other things on. Weeds are on. So, and I won't be using chemical fertilisers. So when the weeds start growing, I'm going to need to get a weeder. And I'm going to need to get to work on it. So I've got to keep a close eye on that. Periodical ploughing is on. Seasonal cycles is off. Really obvious reasons for that. You want to be able to progress. It's going to be a slow-paced series anyway, but I don't want it to take forever and a day to get jobs done. So, obviously, precision farming, you know, classical-wise, I mean, precision farming's only really been about since the beginning of the 2000s, so it's not really vintage, is it? done here. I might just get rid of the horse. I'm not sure whether I'll get rid of it, because all the corrals in here you can actually sell off. And I've got a cow corral, I've got a chicken coop, I've got the rabbits here, I've got a horse, and I've got the pigs. I may do pigs. I don't really do pigs very often. I really don't know. I don't know, you know, it's rare that I do know. Now, what I am going to have to do is get the feed for them. Of course, getting the feed for them means I've got to drill it, because I'm not buying the bleeding thing. So I need to get more fields and pronto. So what I might do is I could drill the grass fields. It's a pity this one here on the left hand side has all that camping stuff in it, because I could buy that and then turn that into a field. So might try and see if I can go in the editor to delete it, but I'd still need to buy the field itself. I mean, I'm not going to just, oh hey, I've got a field now. No, that's not how I do things. So no cheating, just playing, just enjoying. So once this field's done, I think there's not that much more to do for this episode. So I'll probably end up seeing you in the next one, and then we may end up looking at a few contracts. So I hope you all enjoyed this episode. If you have liked it, hit that like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to do so. It's not going to cost you anything. It's completely free. And then hit the bell, because then it will tell you when I'm going live, or when I'm recording, when I'm dropping off videos. You know, hopefully I've earned that subscription. I have looked at my analytics, and I have noticed that 67% of people that actually watch my content are not subscribed. So come on, hit that button. It's not going to cost you anything, and it does help the channel. So God bless you all, take care, and I will see you all in the next episode.